Hello, viewers. My name is Richie Royalty, and I am sitting with the sixth house guest that has left the House of Royalty in a night where Clover has walked from the game. Clover is the sixth house guest to leave the House of Royalty. Clover, your
Hi.
episode was crazy. How are you feeling now?
A lot of emotions. It was definitely something. I'm like a person that doesn't like to quit, and so feeling like I was in that position, it was a lot. But I'm feeling better now. Like I'm like, and so yeah, I don't know. It's bittersweet. I'm feeling a lot of emotions to be so real.
What was going through your head, everything, when that happened on that night and whatnot? Like, what really was the straw that broke the camel's back? And go through your emotions.
Yeah. So like first and foremost, a lot of where my head was at, I felt like with having to fight Indy and Erica and just kind of I felt a lot of the times that I was like hung out to dry because so many people in private would be like, oh my gosh, like I agree with you and I understand you, but would never speak up to them. And so like for me, it was like, okay, like I appreciate that you guys understand where I'm coming from, especially with this, but dot 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 dot. If you're not going to speak up or at least aid in this, it just kind of leaves me out. And so like that happening, and then for me, the Andy and like the Erica of it was entertaining to me. Like I love a good rivalry, a good storyline. But the indie became excessive because it became a lot more personal. And even the way that she came towards me and like spoke to me felt incredibly negative for me. And so then that like really put a damper on it. And then the blind side for me, over the Jake vote, like when I was put in, it was very hard because I was like so many people that I personally cared about in this game kind of like showed me their ass, and I was like, okay, and I was your guys' target. So it made me dread sort of being like online, like coming and talking to people. But don't get it twisted. There's still some people that I've really loved talking to. But for me, it was also like I love talking to these people, but there are so many people that at this current moment, I just there's a lot I feel. And so then what really got it was the HOH comp, in which I'm sitting here for over an hour. I think the camera angle that I chose made it a lot harder for you guys to see that, like the actual positioning that I was in. So then I was getting critiqued, like, oh, don't let this touch that. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like looking at myself, knowing like my knees aren't touching the wall, knowing that I'm sitting at the exact same position as Riley, knowing X, Y, and Z and consistently being critiqued. That part, I was like, okay, it's fine. But what really pissed, like, well, yeah, what really pissed me off in that moment was the whole the rule was don't let your arms drop. If your arms drop from being straight out in front of you, then there become like you will be eliminated. And so it happened to Rob, and then I would watch Riley drop her arms several times, and she would intentionally test it and go lower and lower and lower. And so much so that there was a point in the competition where you were on camera, Richie, and you had looked down, and I watched her literally watch you look down and then take her arm from this straight up position and then wipe it on her leg. And that's when I was just like literally I was just staring at the camera. And then one of the prod members, I still don't know who it was, but one of the prod members was like, don't make that face at me. And I still kept making that face because I'm looking at Riley break the rules. And then they were like, no, like Riley was just readjusting her arm, like blah blah blah. Well, the rules were if your arm drops, dot dot dot, you're out. And she kept doing that, and it got to the point where her arms were like at 90-degree angles, like she was just doing anything and allowed to continue. So then it was just like, okay, so it's clear to me that I'm not who they want to win this comp. And so then it just became a thing of like, okay, so I'm not having fun with the contestants anymore. It kind of feels like I'm consistently put in a position where I have to fight them. Oh, and that's something else that happened. Like Matt. literally pulled me in a one-on-one and basically started attacking about this whole indie thing. And I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about, but you sound stupid as fuck. And that just really that sent it over. So then that like having to fight consistently with so many different contestants, and then on top of that, having Whew. And then having that HOH thing happen, and then something else in my personal life happened where my ex-boyfriend literally wrote a song, like wrote a few songs about me, and I found out that like literally the day before we filmed. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like everything just was crashing down at one point, and I was just like, I can't take this right now. Like this is literally the worst, and just like, especially just like the way that that prom member spoke to me, I was just like, fuck, like I can't do this anymore. And yeah,
Yeah, I will say we do take accountability for what happened, and I do once again apologize to you for what happened that night.
it's okay. Like I appreciate it. It's cool.
Of course. You said that after the indie vote out, you were kind of just like checked out from the game and whatnot. I kind of sensed that too. Like after the indie eviction, you were just kind of just over it. Like, what do you really think just sparked you to just not care anymore about the game?
It wasn't even the indie vote. It was when they put me on the block, like because I knew that they were trying to blindside and evict me, and that's where I was like, okay. It'd be one thing if it was like, all right, all these people are saying that they're playing a very straightforward game and very open and honest, but you're obviously lying. And so I'm like, okay. And then it just was so much, it was very clearly so much animosity that I personally wasn't aware of. Like I literally came online to have a good time. Like I was there to key and enjoy it. And so then with the whole like especially the mat of it, I had no idea that he had any sort of feelings towards me about any aspect of the game. And so when he told me that, I was like, this is actually very, very weird. You're sitting here talking about something that I actually am very frustrated about in this moment still. It's very weird to me. And so then it was just like, even sort of the way that I felt like I was just positioned. I don't know. Like the indie thing didn't help it. Like it was just like that fight. Just it. I don't like fighting for real. For real, I love a good kiki. I love a good joke, and I will fight for the drama. But when it gets to a point where it feels intentionally personal and antagonistic, is where I'm like, no. Like I'd rather just yeah. And so yeah.
Okay. Do you regret quitting the game at all, or do you still stand by your decision of what happened?
I go back and forth. I'm like 50-50. Like the people that I loved in that game, I really loved. Like Jordan, Lily, Ben, and Riley. And then even like Rob after we got back cool, and Aspen, I loved her. And like Dex sometimes when he's not being a bitch. And HQ, like, oh my gosh, and HQ so much. There was just so many people that I just enjoyed, and like Latea as well and Kai. There's so many people in the game that I just genuinely enjoyed interacting with on like a day-to-day basis, and I think that that's the part where I'm like, and I do regret it on the point that I like hate quitting. It's just not something that's for me. But on the other thing, like on the other side of it, not particularly just because I felt like I was so genuinely unhappy by that point that I was like, and then, me quitting also helped my friend Jordan to stay. And like, if there's anything that I could do to make sure that he makes that motherfucking end, I am going to. Like, that is my king. Him and Lily, those are like my ride or dies. Those are my bitches. So like, like, do I guess for like selfish reasons, but like from an overall perspective, I do still think that it's just best. Like, I will say though, Dex Loki let me know that he was very sad when I quit, and I was not expecting that at all. And that really warmed my heart. And I don't know, I feel like just the outpour of love that I got from even just like the contestants, I was like, ah, stop. Like, I actually wanted to cry. I did cry that night when I quit. I cried for like an hour. and that was fine. But yeah, so it's like
Oh,
50-50.
alrighty. At the reunion, you're going to be seeing everybody again and
Ah,
whatnot. Like, how
yeah.
do you think you're going to go into the reunion and see people like Indy, Erica, Dex that you've argued with all season or had rivalries with?
I don't care. Like I've said this on the season, like I'm incapable of holding a grudge. So by that point, I'm gonna be real. Like by the next day, I was over it even after like I continuously fought. But it's like by that point, I'm up and stuck with whatever, but realistically, I'm not gonna like I'm just gonna be like, hey, like I have no grudges, no ill will to anyone. And I'm probably gonna forget all about like the animosity anyways. So it's like I'll be fine when I see them, but don't ever think shit is sweet. Don't come to me crazy because it will you turn right back to where it was. So yeah.
Alrighty. Name one word to describe your gameplay.
Ridiculous. I think I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I feel like had I not quit, I would have made it significantly farther. And from a game perspective, genuinely understood why some people did target me because, like, yeah, like as they said, as we saw, so many people were willing to put their game on the line for me. And even with that whole vote out, some people were willing to switch on their alliances. And I think that that was where I was like, ooh, like I feel the worst. But I'm also like, like I would use the word ridiculous because I feel like absurd would be too strong. And I think I've just had way too much fun. And I just played like such like a ridiculous strategy going in and just being sociable and getting targeted for it. And yeah.
Alrighty. Um, in your casting interview, when I casted you, compared yourself to Mistress Isabel Brooks. Do you think your game mimicked that?
Yeah. I think 1000%. Like like me and Antonio actually do keep in touch like quite frequently and in his delusional mind, he believes that I was the mess of the house. I was smart with what I did. Even like he was so pissy about the fact that I was telling people that he was the mess of the house, making people look at him. It worked and got him out. And so I was like, one thing about me is I'm incredibly strategic about the things that I do, just like Mistress. But I'm also messy to a fault. And so like I'm here to have a good time and I'm gonna go stir up some chaos and some drama. And I did, like the showman's chart that happened week one. Oh, the Aspen of it all. Like people turning on Aspen, that was unintentionally my fault because I kept bringing up what she was saying in front of her and in front of others. But I also like went to war about her behind her back because like Aspen's iconic and like yeah, she says crazy shit sometimes, but she doesn't mean it in that way. She's just kind of like an unintentional bitch and I love that. So yeah, I feel like I was very mistress. Like I just stirred up chaos and confusion in the house constantly and I think that that was very much seen and very much felt. The girl tried to get me out because of it. So yeah.
Alrighty. Um, Overall, beside you quitting, what were your honest thoughts on this game? Did you like it, not like
Oh
it?
my
You can be
God.
completely transparent.
I loved it. At first, I loved the structure. Like, oh my gosh, I love being able to just film and having off days. But I will say, like, having 3 days where you film back to back to back to back is where it's like, okay, like maybe we could have a little break day between those two. But then I don't know. I really loved it and I thought that it was quite fun. I think some of just having like a universal basis of like all challenges and all structure is very helpful. And so, yeah, like that would be my only critique. Like even quitting, like I loved this game so much, so it meant a lot to me. And so it's like hard to do, but I'm like, yeah, no, like I really loved playing. Like it was so much fun, and like, I wish that I just wish that things were different because I would have loved to continue because I feel like I would have took it to the end. Like I would have played so fucking hard. These bitches have no idea. I think it would a different cast. I would have been able to like really, but you get what you get sometimes in life, and this is what I got. Fuck.
Alrighty. Who do you want to see get the boot next and whatnot? From
Matt.
House of Royalty. Matt? Okay.
I don't like. Okay, like there was a few people I didn't like. Erica, I said I didn't like her, but then I stopped caring about her. Like she got a lick on me in one of her confessionals, and I thought she was so ridiculous after seeing it. Like and she was talking about me, and she was saying I call her deluded, which I did call her deluded, and then she proceeded to call me deluded. And I'm watching her use my language and articulate herself very similar to the way that I do. And I was like, see, I get it. Like she's a chameleon. So like I stopped like my dislike. Dex, it was done like once he like straight up told me to my face, like I really wish you didn't quit. Like, sis, love that about you, love you. Matt, he's a weirdo, and I'm so glad that fucking Riley and Ben and Jordan and Lily clocked that about him. He is a weirdo. He thinks that he is so much better than what he is, and he's not. Like he thinks he's the smartest man alive. He thinks he's the most capable player alive. He thinks he's the baddest bitch alive, and it's like not quite on all fronts. Like, let's be serious. I cannot. He makes me so mad. He is so smug for a bitch that literally looks like he is playing this game off his microwave camera. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, he gotta go. He has to go. He has to go. Like, he makes me so bad. Like, oh my gosh. And yes. No offense. No offense, Matt, whenever you want. Actually, I don't care, bitch. Every offense. Fuck you. And yeah.
Alrighty. Any closing thoughts?
Um, Antonio's a messy, sloppy cunt. I hope Lily and Jordan win. Like, oh my God, Jordan, you have no idea how much I root for you. And that was my secret showmance, like whether he knew it or not. And Lily, I've known her since I started in this fandom of like a year ago at this point. And that is my sister. And so I knew people were gonna catch on eventually. Like, bitch, that's my girl. Ben, I think he's gonna go home next or like really soon, and I hope he can pull it out and make it happen. But the two that I'm rooting for, like with my whole chest at this point in time, are Lily and Jordan. I want Jordan to win. I want Lily to win. I want both of them to win. I want them to do so well, and I love them so much. I wish nothing but the best for them and everyone else too, except Matt, but mostly those two.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Clover. We will see you at the end of the season for the grand finale and the reunion, and
I'm so
I wish you
excited.
the absolute best.
Thank